Hello community, I hope you are doing good. In this discussion we will see what is Gantt View and how we can create Gantt View in Odoo 18. And in case you missed previous discussion about how to create cohort view, please check, link is given in the description. If you want to learn more about Odoo, you can visit the Weblearns channel. Under the home screen you can see Odoo 17 and 18 development tutorial. This is the main playlist. If you are a beginner and want to learn from the beginning, you can visit this playlist. This is the main playlist and those are the topic wise sub playlist available. Alright, and right now we are working on this playlist. Guys, if you didn't subscribe this channel, please subscribe. It will help me a lot, plus you will get the latest notification about the upcoming sessions. So let's back to our main topic. What is Gantt View, right? The Gantt View is a horizontal bar chart visualization used to forecast and examine the overall progress of records. The records are represented by bars under a time scale, making it a powerful tool designed for planning, scheduling, and managing timelines effectively. You can see here, this is the current Gantt View, right, in the planning module. You can see left side it's the resources, and each resourcing have each day's work, right, the planning with date and time. If you click here, you can see small view is available here. You can try to delete or edit, right? Also you can open the form view like this. How you can do like this in our custom model, we will see in this discussion. Okay guys, this view is not available in the community module. It's only available in enterprise module. If you have enterprise module, then you can easily create this view, right? So let's go to here in the custom add-ons. You can see I already created student underscore enterprise module. Here I'm trying to create a new view, right, the Gantt view. Guys, if you are not following properly the Weblearns channel, right, don't worry, I will also explain some fields which we are trying to use in this view, particular this view. Okay, so here my goal is, let's say I'm going to student, right? Here the models, you can see this Python file, and here we are trying to create a the Gantt view for this model wb.scope. Okay, here Gantt view we need two fields which is very compulsory, and both fields should be the date or date and time field. Okay, here I already created that specific field. You can see here start date and the end date. The field type is date. You can also add here date and time. Okay, so first thing is I'm trying to create the record of that Gantt field. ir.ui.view, right? Here let's say Gantt school view, field name 123, name. Here we can use model, here we can use architecture, and type is the XML. Here I'm trying to use here, let's say Gantt school view, and simple here I will use wb.school. Okay, and simple I will use here Gantt. Okay, and I will use here, let's say, two attributes. Okay, the first one is the date underscore start and date underscore end. So for the date underscore start, we have to use this start underscore date field, and this end underscore date field we have to use here, or let's mention here under this date underscore end attribute. That's it. Here we can also use one more attribute, which is the string. This will help you to display in the breadcrumb. Okay, once you jump from one view to another view, in this case you can see here this label as a inside the this label inside the breadcrumb. Okay, like this. Now I'm trying to simple let's say upgrade the module, right? So for that, like, I'm trying to copy this module name, and simple I will try to upgrade in Python. Okay, so I don't need to go to in App Store and upgrade the module. Now let's I'm going to here in the student menu. So we have some error message maybe. Alright, yeah. So that underscore stop attribute. So here, alright. So it's not an and but it's a stop. Okay. And another thing is this Gantt view I have to register here inside the Windows action. Okay. Let's say if I will not use here, right, in trying to upgrade the module and refresh the screen, going to student and school, you can see we have a cohort and the list view, right? What if I will try to register that view in the Windows action and again upgrade the module, right? Once I will refresh the screen, after finish this rendering the view, you can see the third icon is also available here, right? You can see here. Once I click, boom, you can see the Gantt view is created, right? Like this way. Today is 25th August, right? So you can see like this, and total 9 record is available here. Now how can we also create attractive like this, right? So for that we can easily create here left side, right, the status. So what is that specific status is? You can see here school status, right? You can see here draft, progress, about to finish, done, and the cancel. If you go to here, I have created dynamic. You can see the ID is also available here 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? Including the status have the icon image. Okay. Now I will show you how we can also display images in the Gantt view, but later on. Now let's say if I want to display here at the left side, so we can use here the group by option, right? Once I click here, you can see it's display left side and the specific records, the date-wise record is also visible like this. But let's say once I will refresh the screen, that left side status is also gone, right? So how we can permanently fix that part? So for that, Odoo also provides a default attributes. So Gantt view also have a lot of attributes supported, but we will use only the useful attributes, the basic attributes, okay, and some very important attributes. So default group by, and here we can use status underscore ID. So let me confirm. Okay, so this one we have to use, and that's it. After, let me upgrade the module and refresh the screen. Now you can see, right, after refresh the screen, the permanently fix this status bar, and you can see here school Gantt view, the string is also available here. Now here we can also use the decorations. Okay, how we can use so the question is, what is the decorations, right? So decorations is just let's say specific bootstrap classes, right? We can use as a danger, warning, info, secondary, warning. So those are the decorations in Odoo. So for that, like how we can implement that one, so we have to use decoration and the name of the decoration, right? So in my case, decoration and the specific condition we have to use. Once the condition is matched, after this decoration automatically display in the bar, in the Gantt bar, I mean here. Okay, so let's say I'm using here status ID equal to 1. Like this. Now I'm trying to upgrade the module. Once I will refresh the screen, oops, we have error message. So let's see here. I think there is a spelling mistake. Yeah, danger, right? Let me minimize. And let me refresh the screen one more time. Whoa. So here you can see the still the effect is not available here, right? Let me show you one condition. That one you have to keep in your mind, or else you have to struggle a lot of hours. The status underscore ID field is many to one field, right? The relational field. So it will return as a, you can see in a array. The zero index is the ID and the first index, right, is the display name. So for that we can use here 0 like this. Here I will show you one more interesting thing. Let's say 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Here let's say I'm not trying to use here anything, but let's say UID equal to 2. So there are a few variables we can directly access in the Gantt view. From them, this UID is one of them. Okay, UID means the current user ID. You can also use today as a keyword, right, to check the conditions. Then after the now keyword also. Okay, now I'm trying to upgrade the module and refresh the screen. Now you can see here I'm trying to show you some observation. Okay, so you can see here it's a orange, right? Orange color. This corner you can see, right? How it is possible it displays something like that? Due to this warning message. Okay, so here what we have to do is we can simple use here status underscore ID of 0 equal to 2. Okay, here it will automatically, let's say, info and warning message both pass the condition, right? So whatever the last mention decoration would be override. Okay, so here let's say refresh the screen. Now you can observe here this one is the blue color and this one is the orange color, right? And rest you can see it's not available any of the decorations applied, right? Due to I didn't mention here the 0 value of this array. Now you can see here. Once I will refresh the screen, and now you can see here, right? You can see the color is also changed, right? So I hope you understood this part, the decoration part. Now let's say the color. Okay, so we can use here color, and here we have to mention the different colors for the different types of records, right? So here what I'm trying to use is the status underscore ID. It will keep the first index always, so we don't need to use like this. Okay, so here I'm using color, and the status ID, whatever the ID is there, it will map with the by default predefined Odoo's color, and it will display into this bar. I mean bar means this one. Okay, so let me refresh the screen. Now you can see, right, it's display a very beautiful way, right? You can see like this. Now here, if you see here, you can use today, let's say this week, right, or this month, quarterly or the yearly, or the custom one. Now let me refresh one more time. Let's say not the yearly, but let's say weekly. I want to use like this. And here you can also use the scale. Okay, what is the default scale? So you can use day, week, year, or let's say month. You have to choose from this 4 field only one option. Okay, and let's say if you want to display the specific scales only, right, then you can use here scales equal to and let's say you want to use day wise, week wise, and month wise. That's it. Now I'm trying to upgrade the module. Refresh the screen. Okay. Now you can see here, right? Let's say you can directly reduce this dates, right? You can change exactly the end date, or let's say you can drag and drop, right? Let's say I will use something like this. But here, if you want to stop this drag and drop option, right, then there is a one more attribute is available: disable drag drop, and you have to mention 1 or 2. By default it's false. Now let's say I'm trying to upgrade the module and refresh the screen. Now you can see here, you can see the lock icon is available. You can see at the end of this bar, right? So like this way you can disable. One more thing is, if you click here, it's display only name, start date, and stop date, right? But let's say you want to add attractive let's say more information here. So how you can do, right? So you can use also here templates. You can use something like this, and here you can mention the field name in d-out as attribute. So for that we can use here the specific template name, which is Gantt popover. Okay, and under this popover you can directly add anything. So let's say p-out. Here I will use name field. Okay, p-out. Here I can use, let's say, start underscore date, p-out, end underscore date. Now let's see the effect. Okay, so here let's say p-out status underscore id, p-out, and here I'm using a mount. Okay, I'm trying to upgrade the module and refresh the screen. So if you click here, if you can't see the pop-up, right, that means there is some issue in your template here. So what is the issue, right? So issue is here, this one, status underscore id. Here you have to mention either 0 or 1, right? Because it will not print the error message. So you have to mention. Let's again, I'm going to refresh the screen, and once I click one more time, okay, so here you can see it's still not available, right? So if you see here, right, the pop-up still is not open, right? Okay, so the main reason is, you can see the amount, right, the status, not the status id but the name field, the start and the end date we have to mention here after this template. Let's say name field, let's say amount, right? Let's say I'm not using amount here, but let's comment without this part. Okay, and let me upgrade the module and refresh the screen. So you can see here name and amount is visible. We have to display in the small pop-up, and if I click here, you can see the amount is not displayed, right? If you switch to list view, you can see amount is displayed like this, right? But let's say if I'm going to here, I'm not able to see the amount. So for that I have to mention here the field, right, name equal to amount, and after I can access directly this field. Let's say I'm trying to uncomment the status id like off 0 and off 1, right? And once I refresh the screen, You can see here one draft and 20,000, right? It's display. You see? So like this way you can add here. And yes, one more thing is the date and date time, right? Once I will use like this. So simple date or date time is not available directly accessible by like this way. So for that we have to use here to format, right? In a single quote you can use here format, something like this format, or like this format. Okay, once I refresh this screen, and after you can see the pop-up is available with all the information, right? Okay, but it's a mix of all the informations, right? How you can also add a beautiful way. So for that we can use here BR tag. And simple I will try to upgrade the body. Also you can provide here the styling, okay, CSS and or as CSS, that is up to you. Now if I will click here, now you can see, right? Now you can see this edit option is available, right? So how you can also disable the create option, right? The close option, everything. So for that we can directly access, use here, let's say create equal to 0. Upgrade the module and refresh the screen. You can see the new icon, right? Now you can see that new icon is not available, right? Now here you can see the list is available here, right? And we have to just select the option. There is no new option, is create option is available here, right? Now let's say you can also disable the write option, okay? So for that let's say edit equal to 0. Same like we can also use delete equal to 0. Okay, and now once I will try to click here, I'm not able to click in the cell. You can see like this, right? Now let's say you can't also drag and drop, right? And here there is a one useful, let's say attribute is, let's say total underscore row and true. Let's say we can use like this, true. So this is very useful attribute. You can see here, if you want to see from number of days, like how many records are available for this row, like that, or let's say combined result, you can see here. In this you can see only one record is available, right? If you go here you can see 2 records, 3 records. In this 9 record found for this 4 days, right? You can see here. So this is also very useful. And now the last one for the session, and which is very important, how you can dependent this school to this school, right? So for that we have to also create a 2 fields, let's say to the dependent models, okay? Let's say I have created here wb.school having 2 fields, the children's schools and the parent schools. Both are many to many. It is compulsory to have a many to many, right? So let me show you here in the front end side. So for this school 1 CSV have a child, let's say schools, school 2 CSV and school 3 CSV, okay? But there is no parent school available for this school 1. Now if I will open this school 2 CSV, this one have a parent school, which is school 1 CSV. Similarly, school 3 CSV have a parent school is school 1 CSV, right? Now we want to display here which school is dependent on which school, right? If you see in the task, project task, over there you can also see, or let's say in the resources, you can also see the similar task dependent on which task, right? There is a one arrow button is there. So for that we can use here two attributes. So we can use here dependency field, and another field is dependency inverted field. So here, let's say the child school we have to mention in the dependent fields, and it's a reverse. Which field is that? The parent school ID. Okay. So I'm trying to mention here the parent school ID, and now I'm trying to upgrade the module. Another thing is, if you are using only one attribute and if you forgot to mention this attribute, in that case, while you upgrade the module, it will not work. It throws the error message, right? Now let's refresh the screen, and now you can see here. This school is dependent on this school 2 CSV and school 3 CSV, right? So like this way, you can add attractive dependency views also. So I hope you understood about the Gantt view, and there are some useful attributes with including the small pop-up template. Okay. If you still have any doubt related to this topic, please comment below, and see you in our next session.